Hi everyone, it's Becky here. Welcome to another new video on my YouTube channel. And today is a bright sunny day here in Vancouver, and I am here at Chinatown. And these panda ornaments are really cute. Here I am on my way to discover a new cafe around this area. So it's called Aiyaohno Cafe, located inside a commercial building. And the owners are an Asian couple. So I ordered a cup of latte and smoked salmon sandwich. And before eating and drinking, I'm going to sketch my coffee and sandwich, starting with the ellipse shape of the paper cup and the thickness of the rim, the body part. And I'm drawing the liquid line and the bubbles. And the swirl of fern on the latte is upside down. And now I'm drawing the logo of this cafe. There is a dinosaur costume for this kitty cat, and he's holding a Japanese sign. And adding accentuation for the rim. Now I'm ready to draw the sandwich, starting with a broad outline. So the sandwich in general is a rectangular prism shape split in half. And now I'm drawing the inner details like the lettuce and the salmon in very organic lines, following what I see and not looking at the paper very much. Almost a blind contour technique, and the bubbles on the bread. And then same idea for the other half. A lot of slices of lettuce and the salmon. Air bubbles on the bread. Now I'm drawing the red checkerboard pattern of the wrapping paper. Yeah, so just crisscross lines, a little foreshortening on the side of the box shape. And that took me about 5 minutes to draw. Now it's time to move on to painting watercolors. Just wetting the surface of the coffee with clear water, putting on a mix of yellow and orange, and then wet onto wet some brown or burnt sienna. And the bread area of the sandwich has very similar colors, and then lime green mixed with cadmium yellow, diluted. And yeah, if you dilute the red a lot with water, you're gonna get a fresh salmon color. Wet onto wet some radiant green on top of the lime green, so the lettuce leaves really shine. And using leftover gray to add a basic color for the shaded area of the sandwich wrapper, and same for the white paper cup, inside and outside. So after shading the wrapping paper, I'm starting to punch on these vibrant reds for these little squares, really satisfying to paint in. And then painting the shadows for the cup and the sandwich using leftover gray. That's it. And the coffee is actually really good. I really love their logo design. And after enjoying my sandwich, I'm ready to sketch the view of this little cafe situated inside the lobby of this commercial building. It looks like there's nothing in front of me, right? But I'm trying to make the less interesting more appealing to look at. There are actually a lot of good qualities of this interior. So I'm starting to draw this lady customer ordering her food, starting with her long hair, her neck, and her shoulder, wearing a pink backpack, and the backpack is roughly a round cube shape with the straps attached to her back, her elbow, and yeah, this is pretty much her upper body. And then her jeans. So after drawing this lady, I'm adding some accentuation here and there for the straps of her backpack and around her shoulder area to increase the feel of 3 dimension. If you're using a fountain pen or brush pen to draw, it's very easy to achieve different line width or thickness with hand pressure. If you're using just a regular drawing pen, then you have to go over some areas multiple times to create thicker line densities. Yeah, so after drawing this lady, I am trying to find connection of an object right next to her somewhere. It could be on her left or on her right. And there many options. So I decided to draw this menu standing right in front of her. And so it's like she's really looking at the items and getting ready to order. Yeah, again, adding accentuation to suggest 3 dimension for the board. And then it's time to connect the counter edge with the height of this lady. It's around a little bit lower to her shoulder at the countertop. And now I'm starting to draw this little houseplant on a counter right behind the menu board. And keep seeing and adding more cute little items around her. On the left, here's a tray holding pastries and a milk carton and another lovely little houseplant. Yeah, and these pots of houseplants are really fun to draw. And then darken some areas with thicker lines according to my observation. Some other items overlapping behind these pots. So another box thing behind the milk carton. And now moving on to the right side here, there's a little bell and 2 little ornaments. And then this large houseplant. The pot is on the floor in front of the counter. And I think these greeneries, these leaves and veins are adding so much life to this not so interesting cafe interior. And the owners are actually really good at, arranging their interior space with these houseplants and other artistic ornaments. And the counter is actually made of rustic wood. It's a slice of tree trunk. Yeah, and just very quickly adding some old-fashioned items underneath the counter. I see vintage water tanks and also fabric. Okay, now it's time to add some customers enjoying their meals. Starting to draw this girl in a hat. She's Asian as well. There are a lot of Asian customers coming in to get food. And yeah, her long hair, the hat. She was very skinny, so sometimes it could be tricky to draw like very skinny people. And now I am drawing her friend. Yeah, so as always, when I'm drawing people, I like to start with the shape of the hair first, and then the face underneath, and then the simple, cartoony facial expression. And when we're drawing people, make sure he or she has a neck. Okay, yeah, so I just drew her neck, her shoulders, and her arm, and most of her upper body is being covered by the table edge, and her food and drink. So they ordered 2 bowls of noodle salad, and just finishing the elbow area of this girl here in the foreground. Her jacket hanging on the chair. Final details for these 2 friends. And adding some little details in between these leaves here underneath the counter. And now I am constructing the outline of the shelf. And more houseplants on top of the shelf. And this shelf is made of rustic wood. There are also nice colorful glass bottles, perhaps wine bottles here on top of the shelf, and other small thingies. And yeah, a stack of books. And this stack of books is adding more taste for this cafe. And some more thin-leaved plants around the book. A plant with tiny little leaves. And some other small details behind, quickly drawing these not so perfect vertical lines of the wooden planks. And some bits of details underneath the counter, the fabric with blue floral patterns, very Asian style. Now I am drawing the owner, the guy, short hair. I think he is Japanese, perhaps. And then the shoulder area, he's wearing an apron. Okay, so far the foreground and the middle ground objects are done. Now I am looking at the things behind. So this is the fridge where they store the ingredients and the stacking paper cups. And the stacking food storage on the left side of the bridge on the shelf. Okay, now I spot this special bucket. It's very likely an old-fashioned ice cream maker. Okay, so here in front of the girl customer, this is the display board with their specialty items. And it has a black frame and more abstract details around the corner of the wall there. Now, I'm about to make two very important lines that defines the interior space. The vertical line and the slanting lines dividing the ceiling and the back wall area. And then these lamps and the air conditioning covers. And there is a blind here on the very left side, and that's it for the line drawing. Now it's time to move on to painting watercolors. To spice up this warm, inviting atmosphere, just wetting the whole area first with clear water by squeezing my water brush, and then punching on and spreading this color of mix of lemon yellow and cadmium yellow. So I'm always like to dilute this yellow on paper and not necessarily getting it ready in the palette. Pretty much for like everything here, because the interior lighting is illuminating all the objects here. And then some midtones. This is like a mix of orange and brown or burnt sienna. And also yellow ochre for the rustic wood color. Playing with water control there, so there's a slight bit of transition. And also using wet into wet by putting a darker tone, in this case brown, on top of the yellow ochre. And some more pure brown, like burnt sienna, for the spines of these books. Now I am playing around with the greens, starting with the lightest tone of green, lime green mixed with lemon yellow or cadmium yellow, for all of the leaves that I see. And then I'm going to do wet onto wet, another tone of green, a deeper tone that I mix with viridian green with a tiny bit of yellow ochre or just pure viridian green. Yeah, just spread it around these leaves, adding more fresh air for this cafe interior, and then diluted red for her backpack. And cadmium yellow for her blonde hair. For the skin colors, I mix red and orange and dilute the color with a lot of water to get the peachy skin color. And then painting these cold colors of her pants. I think she's wearing camouflage pants, not jeans. So it's a little spotty. And her sweater was like almost dark. So I just used my own kind of purple instead of black. And another layer containing less water for a bit of contrast. Yeah, and the owner was wearing really nice yellow vest and a sweater with yellow stripes. And then this piece of fabric is really special. I think it's really Asian style. So it's this vintage blue with a lot of nice florals on it. And then another layer of more intense blue for the bottom for some shade. Punching on some more bright colors that I see. I think these are chairs and also old-fashioned chest. And also a water tank. Now I'm starting to sort of glaze on the shade color on the wall area and also the ceiling. So it's kind of like called glazing technique. So I mix my own gray with blue, green, and royal purple, diluted with a lot of water. So it's a transparent gray, not covering the nice yellow completely. Sometimes containing more ratio of blue, so it looks more interesting and less dull. using brown to paint that flower pot with a highlight in the middle of the pot. And a lot of these objects here on the back are plastic or metallic, containing a lot of gray tones. And also I'm shading the ice cream maker there. Yeah, grays could be really interesting if you mix your own, playing around with the different ratios of blue, green, and royal purple. And adding a bit of really nice red pink for the milk cartoon there. Some more tiny bits of color with the tip of my brush strokes, and also the wooden grain of the counter using thin brush strokes. Now it's time to paint these two lovely girls. So I just use black directly from my paint palette to paint their hair. Again, skin color is mixed with orange and red, diluted with a lot of water for the cheeks, containing less water. And yeah, she was wearing a pink sweater and also putting on purple to shade her body. So her body is not like a cardboard cutout, but three-dimensional. And same for this lady's shirt as well, 2 layers. Second layer is always more intense, adding some 3 dimensions. And the third layer maybe for higher contrast. And now it's about the very last stage of my painting process. Some final polish with really thin and almost invisible brush marks. That's almost it for this sketch tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like it, please click like and leave me a comment below. Subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. I try to update my channel with 2 to 3 new videos every week. So see you again very soon, everyone. Have a great day.